Hello. A few weeks ago I visited Riga, the capital of Latvia, and I was very pleasantly surprised by what I found, as I hope to show you in this little video. Now, I have over the past 18 months or so, I visited 7 or 8 different random towns throughout the EU, just to check out really what the quality of life is like in other places. And we're always being told by politicians that no matter how bad things may seem here, that much worse than Europe is in a terrible, terrible, terrible state. People are all really struggling. And I wanted to find out for myself. And everywhere I've been, I've found, generally speaking, the quality of life has been much, much better than it is in many places of the UK. Now, before going to Latvia, I knew nothing about it. I knew it was one of the 3 Baltic states with Lithuania and Estonia, but beyond that, I really didn't know anything about it. In my ignorance and stupidity, I thought it was probably about the size of Surrey, but in fact, it's half the size of England. It's really a reasonable-sized country. It has a population of 1.8 million, and that compares with the population of England of 58 million. So it's pretty sparsely populated. The capital, Riga, has a population of 600,000. It's a mixed economy. It's bumping along. It's not been doing too well lately, not as well as its neighbours Estonia and Lithuania, but things are picking up. Now, the town of Riga itself is a biggish town. It's about the size of Sheffield. And right in the centre there's somewhere they call the Old Town, which is a rather nice area. It's a sort of cobbled streets and old buildings and so on. It's been quite nicely preserved. And whilst the architecture in Riga is really, in the centre, is really outstanding, and there's terrific Art Nouveau and all sorts of beautiful architecture, very often brightly coloured and so on, in places it's a little bit shabby. You have to bear in mind that Latvia was part of the Soviet Union until 1991, so they were a way to go yet, but I think it has the potential of becoming a really, really beautiful city. Now, I'll just show you a little bit of video of what the old town looks like. They get a lot of tourists there. It's where a lot of restaurants are and so on. So it is a little bit unlike the rest of unlike anywhere else in Latvia for that matter. But have a look and see what you think. Now, Riga, with a population of 600,000, is a big bustling city. Streets full of traffic and businesses and shopping and all the rest of it that you would find in any city anywhere, really. But I did think it was only fair, having shown you the nice part of Riga at the centre, I should show you sort of a poorer area. And so I did take the tram out to the end of the line and found an area which was said to be pretty run down, where there were several of these Soviet blocks, and where there was a little shopping centre, which I did a little film around the shopping centre and the supermarket there, just to give you an idea. Now, one thing I did notice in Riga was that wherever you went, everything was pretty clean. I didn't see any litter at all. Didn't see any boarded up shops. I didn't see any homeless people, although I think the government takes care of homeless people because in the winter you die if you stepped outside. But anyway, what I did notice above all is one of the two things that really impressed me with Riga was the public parks. There are an awful lot of them. They're all over the place, and I only visited some of them, but they were really, really beautiful. And the pictures I'm going to show you at the moment are all taken from right in the centre of the city. So have a look, and I think when you talk about quality of life, public spaces that are as nice as this are really quite important. Now, the other thing that really stood out for me in Riga was the the food, which was really quite extraordinary. Apart from the fact the restaurants, the ones I ate in, were all very nice quality food and very reasonable, but then you can't compare prices because wages are so much lower in Riga than they are, say, in the UK. But in the centre of Riga, there are four enormous buildings. They're really huge buildings. And they were built by the Germans back, I think, in the 30s to house Zeppelins. And after the war, they were converted to be a market. And this is said to be the biggest market in Europe. It's absolutely vast, with hundreds, maybe thousands of stalls. And in one of these huge buildings, for example, they're selling almost exclusively fish. And another is selling dairy products, another is selling meat and so on. Outside there are hundreds of stalls selling fruit and vegetables, and everything is so fresh. And the selection was really quite staggering. I just filmed the fish section and a bit of the cheese section to give you some idea. But the range of food available is really quite extraordinary. And bear in mind, this is not Fortnum and Mason. This is for ordinary people. This is just the local food market. So take a look and see what you think. Now, barely 100 yards away from this enormous market, there's a big supermarket, and very nice quality. And each of the supermarkets I visited were really nice quality. And on one occasion I went out to a shopping centre which is not far from the centre of Riga, quite a big shopping centre. Now, I don't normally film in shopping centres because they're all the same. They've all got the same international brands and so on, and you know what to expect, and they all look the same. But in this shopping centre, there was one of the biggest supermarkets I've ever seen. It not only was the biggest, it was one of the smartest. It was absolutely spotless. It was much more Waitrose than Tesco or Sainsbury. It was really, really nice. It was so big that I couldn't possibly film around it all. But what I did film, and you might find this interesting, I filmed the alcohol department, because I've never ever come across so much alcohol in one supermarket, such a big selection. It was quite extraordinary, and this is not the sort of supermarket you find in a poor country that's struggling. I just wanted to mention two other things that I noticed particularly in Riga. First was the public transport. The whole city seems to be very well served by trams and by buses. And I use them all the time. The service seems extremely good. Very, very cheap. I think an hour and a half costs you €1.50. And a day ticket costs €5 and a monthly ticket costs you €30. So obviously a lot of people using public transport, and it was pretty good. Now, the other thing that really impressed me in Riga was the Latvian National Library. There's this huge building on the banks of the river. It's a sort of triangular shape building. It looks a little bit like a ski slope. It's, I think, 13 stories high, and it's very, very nice. It's beautiful inside, and it contains apparently around 5 million books, which is roughly 3 books for every man, woman, and child in Latvia. But I think it's a building of national pride, and was very, very, very impressive. I think education is very important in Latvia. So what did I think of the quality of life in Riga after just 3 days? Well, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a very nice town, nice atmosphere. I thought the people were fantastic. They were extremely friendly, extremely helpful. Everybody speaks English because 37% of the population still have Russian as a first language, and the rest speak Latvian, which is not spoken anywhere else. So English is almost essential, I would have thought. I thought the food was absolutely fantastic. I loved the open spaces, the parks and so on, fabulous library and cheap public transport. I mean, all these things contribute towards a pretty good quality of life. Crime is apparently extremely low in Latvia. And so, what's not to like, really? I would certainly like to go back. I think there's a lot more to see, and I'd like to see a lot more of the whole country. But no, all in all, I think the quality of life there is not bad at all. It's obviously not a rich country. You're not going to mistake yourself for being in the Champs-Élysées or Saint-Tropez, but it's just a nice city, and what more can I say, really? If you watched this far, thank you very much indeed, as always, and if you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you do so. I do need more subscribers because these trips are quite expensive, and I wouldn't be going if I wasn't going to be making a video, so I appreciate any support in terms of new subscriptions. So having said that, thank you for watching, and until next time, bye for now.